So assuming that 2025 advertisement is still accurate, we are on the verge of getting Metroid Prime 4 relatively soon. And let's be frank, it's been a long time since Metroid Prime 3 Corruption hit the shelves. So of course, there's plenty to be excited about for Metroid Prime 4. But considering the fact that it's been so long, I think there's a lot to be concerned about as well. So today, I'm talking about my 4 biggest concerns with Metroid Prime 4. And please, let me know in the comment section below what are your concerns about this game. First off, the development team. The staff at Retro Studios has changed so much since Metroid Prime 3. And I know we all kind of already knew this, but recently, we just got some confirmation and figured out the extent of how much it's actually changed. There's a really cool account on X called Shinesparkers, and if you have an X/Twitter account, then I definitely recommend giving them a follow as a Metroid fan. But recently, they were able to figure out who all the different people are who are in the process of developing Metroid Prime 4. And I'm sure it's a lot of talented people, and I am excited to hear a lot of the details about these folks. But with that being said, one of the things I immediately noticed is just how many people had nothing to do with the original trilogy. That isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the bar is set so high with these first 3 games, which I believe are some of the greatest video games ever created. Retro Studios held themselves to such a high standard when it came to the storytelling and the lore. And frankly, if we're being honest, I think the Metroid Prime games have a vastly superior story in comparison to just about any other Metroid game. It's going to be a tough task for these new members of Retro Studios to meet that standard. Not saying they can't do it, but at the very least, I'm cautious about it. Second, I'm worried about Metroid Prime 4 sticking too closely to the formula of the previous games. Obviously, I love Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, but I don't want to just be rehashing a lot of the same story threads. For example, in the first game, Samus shows up to Talon 4, and she discovers lots of information about the Chozo, their ongoing conflict, and how their race has basically gone extinct on Talon 4. And then, on Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, she meets the last of the remaining Luminoth, who were a part of an extinction-type event, were a part of this massive war, and now are calling upon Samus to finish the war on their behalf. So immediately, when I'm seeing the trailers for Metroid Prime 4, and I see Samus meeting a member of the Lamorne, I just can't help but be reminded by the Chozo and the Luminoth, and just get a little bit concerned that they're playing it safe by maybe following the safe and established formula. That's a big assumption, and I'm not saying that's definitely the case, that's just a concern that I have, but there's a lot they can do with these characters that frankly kind of resemble Metroid Prime itself. Trust me, there's a lot to talk about and speculate there, and I'll get into that in future videos. My third concern with Metroid Prime 4 is the depth of the story and the lore. Prime 1, Prime 2, and Prime 3 followed a very specific and continuous narrative about Metroid Prime and Planet Phase, but now both of those are completely destroyed. So there's a lot of pressure on Prime 4 to have its own unique narrative that's as impressive as the original 3 games. Now, of course, they could bring back Dark Samus and Phazon through time travel, which has been heavily speculated to be in this game. But even if that was done, then it needs to be executed well. Otherwise, it will feel like some cheap and forced version of somehow Palpatine Return. My fourth and final concern for Metroid Prime 4 is simply the lack of a release date. Hopefully, we're getting answers about this shortly, but I thought we would have known the release date by now. We're now entering the summer season, and you would think if this game is actually dropping in 2025, then they should start ramping up their marketing campaign pretty soon. But we haven't seen anything related to this game for quite a while, which has left some people to speculate that it's actually far from complete. Then there's the Metroid Prime Trilogy art book that was originally slated to be released on June 24th, but now even that has been delayed until October 28th. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even mind if the game came out in, say, spring of 2026, as long as it's completely done and we get a polished, finished product. I would also love to get Prime 2 and Prime 3 before Prime 4 releases. Otherwise, I think that will be a massive mistake, because people really need to experience the continuity and the developing story of these 4 games. So I don't know, I could go either way. I'm not saying I want the game rushed, I'm not saying I want the game delayed. At the very least, I'd like to just know more information about it than this vague 2025. So now it's your guys' turn. What are your biggest concerns about Metroid Prime 4? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more Metroid and Zelda content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.